All set for the final qualifying session of the 2025 FIA Formula 2 World Championship. We're a few moments away from syncing up with the world feed. The championships are already decided. Leonardo Forlaroli has been crowned as champion after a dramatic last lap in Qatar, where he wasn't entirely sure, even to the last corner, if he was the champion or not. But this is going to be absolutely brilliant news. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box as well. I can't wait to get started on this one. I'm solo for this session. Omi is disposed with education at the moment, so you'll be rambling on with me with a mix of the world feed with Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundle as well during the most boring parts of the session. But we're all set for what's going to be a cracking half an hour of qualifying, and it's a critical time as well because this is around about when we'll be having the sprint race timings. The conditions shouldn't change too much over the space of 2 hours, so this is going to be quite an exciting run. Good morning to Travis, as I bite my lip mic, saying, hello, JBMotorsports and crew. Conditions will be much different to practice earlier on. And yes, we are covering the session. Hello, we always do. Unless there's an issue and we have to throw it down to the world feed for some things. But right now, it's time for me to stop talking and to get the world feed music buzzing up. Qualifying for round 14 of the FIA Formula 2 Championship is moments away on Yas Island here in Abu Dhabi. This incredible Formula 2 campaign has had many a different winner, and now we come here with the championship wrapped up. It's a free-for-all around the Abu Dhabi circuit. 3 sectors, 5.281 kilometres, that's 3.281 miles, sprint race at 23 laps, feature race at 33. Elevation change at 10.2 metres, 16 turns, 2 DRS zones, 137.445 is the race lap record around here. And in that feature race, it was super soft for 6 laps, mediums for 27. That got Joshua Dirt's going to race win. We've got medium and super soft tyre compounds again. The lap record in the 1 minute 35. There's a low downforce, low tyre usage circuit, but a high fuel consumption and brake wear to contend with. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Formula 2 and a 30-minute qualifying session that is on the clock for this one. It's going to be very interesting to come into it. Hello to Red Ruby, says hello, Omi and Josh. Omi's not with us for this session. He'll be back with us for the sprint tomorrow. The order for this weekend in F2's commentary boxes, it'll be myself and Omi for practice, myself for qualifying, Omi and Wes for the F2 sprint, and me and Omi and hopefully Wes are back together for the feature race come Sunday. The green light is on and we are underway, so the drivers are heading out onto the circuit now. Just making sure they're not getting anything on the lip mic. As conditions are a little bit better. I've just realised I've not got the right timing screen up in front of me. Here we go. Track temperature 35.5. Wind speed is at 1.8 metres per second. 52% humidity. Air temperature 27.7. Track is obviously dry. And it's looking quite nice out there. There's Gabriel Minin, 13th in the driver's standings on 57 World Championship points. Looking a bit stronger and stronger as well. Let's see what he does in this final weekend. Not going to be racing with the team next year, of course, coming into it. Luke Browning in 4th position in the championship. As many of the drivers have just been in the F2 session, in the FP1 for Formula 1. So they're going to have to very quickly change over. Jack Crawford was in there as well. Clarence Shields was in it. Arvid Lindblad was in it. So they've all now had to get ready. Let's go down and hear from our championships.
Drive this weekend.
Browning.
Yep. Obviously, I've got a busy schedule with the F1, FP1 in the middle of it. There's not much time here in between the sessions, so yeah, I think I'll just be taking it a bit like Bahrain, where it just helps, and it was a bit more track time, and we qualified well, and yeah, I think hopefully the same story here would be nice.
Telling me there's been about half an hour between the end of practice 1 and the start of practice 2, but that realistically is only about 20 minutes. So Luke Browning's actually had to run off from one side, get into the car and go again. I think he's even wearing the same overalls. So it looks like several of the drivers who were in that FP1 session wearing the same overalls, because it's just easier to go and get in. They're FIA spec, so they are allowed to do it across the series, but I suppose it's just easier really, isn't it? Because otherwise you don't have time to get changed. As the sun begins to set here, all drivers, all 22 of them, are out on an out lap, which is better and better information to come through. As they'll keep pushing again and again. Just trying to get my F2 timings up here in the commentary box. As the system's working around, there's Alexander Dunn. He's in 5th place in the championship, looking stronger. As we will continue on. Bogdanovic 61 in the second sector now, so he's not doing a big lap time yet. Crawford, Browning, Lindblad, Shields, they're back in F2 machinery. They were the drivers in total who have done the F1 practice 1. In practice, Jack Crawford on top. Let's hear it now on the board.
I would say 50-50. I think there's been a lot of strong moments, and I think we've done a lot of things right, but I think we've also done some things not so right. So I think it's been a strong season, and I think if you compare it to my F3 season, for example, it's been amazing. But you know, I think ultimately I would have liked to have been a little bit higher, and I think we had the pace to fight for the championship, but I think ultimately there was a couple of things that we probably didn't do quite right ourselves, and then a couple of things out of our hands as well that didn't really go our way. So it's been a strong season, and I think if we do a second year of it, we know exactly where to go better, and I think we'll be in a good position to hit the ground running.
Alexander Dunn there, who says he's going to hopefully be hitting the ground running coming into this next one. He thinks he's had a good season so far. Drivers are still doing multiple push and cool laps. The preparation is what they're officially titled at. Here's Sebastian Montoya, 10th in the driver standings on 91 points. He's running, of course, number 9 in his career number. Blue flags in order as well. Faster drivers trying to come through, and there's still a lot of traffic going to be here. It's a narrow circuit, Yas Marina, so we're not expecting a lot of difference between it. See the information coming to you from the times. Solov 156.731, Montoya, Gertz, Bogdanovic all sending by the times, but this is the beginning of the push laps as they come through. Turn number 1 for Montoya. Don't go all 4 wheels over the white line, you'll have your lap time deleted. Up through 2, into the kink at 3, in about 5th gear at this point, half throttle, push down hard, coming into the hairpin at 5, just literally little touch at 6, down all the way into 2nd gear. He's locked the inside, front right tyre as well on those super soft compounds. The Ultra is coming through, down we go now, all the way back towards turns 6 and 7. The chicane. 6th gear all the way down to 1st. Another lock on the inside front right. Better at the exit, controlling the understeer. No power steering in a Formula 2 car, remember, as you blast now in the DRS zone. Crawford's at 155.904. These are still benchmark lap times. Montoya on the brakes through 9, 2nd sector. Well, 1st sector's a 20.3, 2nd sector 41.5. Richard Verschore's matched that with a 41.5 sector. You see Tenaspolik to prove Zach is in 10th position at the moment, 2:02.77. He's making his debut. Montoya already now through into turn 14 under the Az Hotel, pushing hard as he comes into 15 and 16, the last two corners on the circuit. 5th gear, down all the way. 3rd gear, still not having the acceleration he wants to out of it. Over the line for Montoya to 1:37.972. He's top from Browning. Bogdanovic for sure second, 1:38.297. So Montoya has the benchmarker at the moment. Still looking strong. Crawford stronger. Maney set the fastest second sector, 41.3. On board with Crawford into the last corner. Browning's had his lap time deleted from the stewards. Crawford to the top, 1:37.633. So this is going to get stronger and stronger. Dirtskin, fastest first sector, 20.3. 41.4 though. He's dropped a 10th in that middle sector. It's just a personal best as he comes into the Az Hotel section at turns 12, 13 and 14 underneath the hotel. 2 corners left at 15 and 16. It should be a lot more open and sweeping, trying to get the traction in. You can hear the engine shifting down into 3rd gear. Those tyres working extremely hard over the line. Dirtskin goes second, 1:37.724. 0.091 off the pace at the moment. Mighty strong opening lap times here. Martins and Van Hopen. Lap times not yet sorted. Martins, I think, has had one deleted by the stewards on that front. No one coming into the pit lane at the moment. Let's have a look at the full timings so far. Crawford, Dirtskin, Montoya, Forlaroli, Mini, Maney, Lindblad for sure, Stenshaw. Dunn, Stanek, Bogdanovic, Villa Gomez, Goethe, Miata, Solov. Bennett, Shields, into Privazak, Martins, Van Hopen and Browning. That's the order. Let's have a word then on board with Jack Crawford.
Those top 10 for the sprint race. Okay, let's hear from Jack Crawford, currently second in the championship. He was talking about Fornaroli.
Leo did great. You know, Leo's a great guy, and yeah, he was very fast all year, especially in qualifying. I feel like that's where, you know, me, Richard, Luke have, you know, been not as good compared to Leo as in qualifying, where he's always been up there. The rest of us have kind of been up and down, inconsistent, haven't been able to get it right as often as him. And that makes a difference at the end of the day. Starting in the top 10 every single race means you're already starting in the points. So all you have to do is stay there, and you're pretty much guaranteed points. And if you can do more, then of course you're going to do, you know, big points. So I think that's the big difference, and you know, he did a great job.
On board with Crawford as he comes into turn 5. Still desperate to find something out there, aren't they? This is the sector times you're seeing at the moment on the data screen. Montoya's got the fastest first sector. What can he do over the line? 3rd fastest at the moment with a 1:37.972. 20.1 first sector, 41.3 second sector. He's going to come over the line shortly. Is Montoya going to have something to bargain with over the line? And Montoya is fastest, 1:37.604. 29 thousandths of a second faster than Jack Crawford. Here comes Richard Verschoor over the line, and he goes 6th fastest. Roman Stanek up into 4th, 1:37.745. Here's Gabriel Mini. Has he got something to do? Over the last corner. Gabriel, 9th to 5th. It's a 1:37.824. Crawford next over the line. Downhill, and and moves up into provisional pole position. 1:37.552. Timing's now really starting to come alive. One more with the champion, Leonardo Forlaroli. Durska's got a 41.236 in the second sector. Forlaroli fighting oversteer coming into turn 16. Downhill 10 meters. What's the time? 47 thousandths down. It's second with a 1:37.599. Over the line comes Durska. Provisional pole position again. 1:37.464. More time, more delta coming through. Victor Martins next up, moves up on the into 12th position. He's done a 1:37.990. Someone's just had a lap time deleted from the stewards. I wonder. Keeping my eye out who drops down. It's Stanek. Roman Stanek, lap time deleted. That drops him down into 16th position now. Hearing the runs now on board. So Stanek's lost out. Alexander Dunn, lap time deleted for track limits. They're all getting pinged out here, and that's the problem with turn 1. Very rare you can have track limits now. Gabriel Mini, lap time deleted. Sullivan Dunn also losing time. Well, everyone's losing track limits. I wish we had race control. We used to get race control messages. During that weekend, we got race control messages coming through on our systems up here. That hasn't happened. Having a guitar, didn't it? I was very happy about that. This is Luke Browning. Trying to go on the inside line. I presume that's Arvid Lindblad. Did not go well there. A lot of traffic on the inside. Joshua Durskin, 1:37.464. He has the top time at the moment from Leonardo Forlaroli, and Lindblad's lap time has been deleted. Arvid Lindblad has dropped down into 21st position. Lawrence Van Hopen also having a lap time deleted from race control now. So that's 2 that's gone off my monitor. Durska's done a 1:37.464. Forlaroli, Montoya, Crawford, Boganovic, Goethe, Verschoor, Martin, Stenschel, Miata the top 10. Then it's Maney, Mini, Solov, Dunn, Stanek, Bennett, Villa-Gomez, Browning, into Pruvazak, Shields, Lindblad, and Van Hopen. Tanasapoli to Pruvazak, though, making his step up from Formula 3 ahead of his permanent F2 racing next year. We're now watching Roman Stanek. What's he got? Controlling out of turn 14 through 15. The right-hander, 16, down into third gear. Another right-hander. Over the line now. And Stanek, 5th fastest. 1:37.636. Crawford's middle sector is only 89 thousandths of a second off the pace of Joshua Durskin. So there's still delta to be found here. Another run left, surely coming through. Crawford nicely down into turn 12. Fighting wrestling control again. These tyres really don't like the abrasion of the circuit that much. They start to want to get from underneath you. They start to want to get away from you. And Crawford's abandoned the lap time. Straight back into the pits. Yeah, that I expected, to be fair. Here's Leonardo Forlaroli. Down in sector 1, down in sector 2. Fighting control as he comes into turn 13 and 14. Just trying to find the right paces really around it. Last corner, turn 16. Down into third gear. Back on the power. Downhill, and it's second fastest. 1:38.067. Off the pace of his 1:37.599 that he set before. So we're halfway in the qualifying, the final qualifying of the season. Everyone now coming back into the pit lane. Let's take this opportunity to check in with Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundle.
He's a Formula 2 champion, what does he know, eh?
I'm not talking.
Sebastian Montoya in third place. Really going along well in this session. As our Prema team, there is Chris Miney, who will be out. next week as well. That's an announcement coming out earlier this week. There we can see the fans watching on. We're essentially hit half-time of the session so far.
Incident between Solov and Browning noted for impeding. So race control have picked that up.
Yeah. Fornaroli's the only driver now out on the track. He's basically given himself the track to himself. So there we go.
Yeah, we saw him go out slightly late, although
I think he's on his way in, isn't he?
On his way in.
Yeah. So he's going to be on his way into pit lane. There is Arvid Lindblad on his last qualifying session in Formula 2. We'll want to end this one on a high, but currently has a lot of work to do with those track limit penalties. He's all the way down in 21st place, and Campos Racing still an outside chance of the team's championship. He'll want to get himself forward. Well, Leo Fornaroli, back-to-back titles in F3, in F2, and we spoke to him about his journey on the road to F1.
I learned so much stuff. Races are quite different compared to Formula Regional and Formula 4, which were the categories I raced before. I work with both Trident and Invicta, who are top teams in Formula 3 and Formula 2. They helped me massively. Also spend a lot of time with my driver coach Roberto, who has basically changed my driving. He has helped me so much, so I really want to thank everyone who supported me.
Leo replicating the achievements there of Oscar Piastri and Gabriel Bortoletto, winning back-to-back Formula 3 and Formula 2 titles, and now being confirmed that he has been signed by McLaren as part of their driver development program for 2026, and that's a real great achievement for him, a very deserved reward for what he's putting over the last 2 years.
Absolutely so, along with Richard Bashaw,
yeah.
Be his stable mate at that academy. Richard Bashaw also overjoyed to be picked up and moved through. If you're a little bit out with your young driver news, Arvid Lindblad, who's been one of our crop throughout this year, also making his move through to RB next season in Formula 1 from his berth with Campos Racing in Formula 2. So those were really the movement upwards, shall we say, in terms of trajectory. You've got Sebastian Montoya continuing at Prema. You've got Ollie Goethe continuing at MP Motorsport, with next year's lineup for Formula 2 drivers looking remarkably complete, even without the season concluded.
15 drivers now confirmed for next year. The only team yet to announce anyone is Trident, so we'll wait to see what happens there. They've got Tasana Poincher-Puvazak, of course, out this weekend, making his debut in Formula 2, becoming the first Thai driver to race since Alex Albon. Right, investigations going on at the back of Kushmaini. In fact, that's Gabriele Mini, isn't it? Is it? They're just waiting for him to leave, and off he goes.
I think they were just investigating when they wanted to go then.
Yes.
In comparison to having any kind of reliability issue, just the gearbox starter always kept there to make sure that if the driver stalls, they can still get out of the pit lane.
Gabriele Mini looked quick earlier in practice, didn't he? Surprised to see him currently down in 13th, but a chance in this final run to now improve. He has been a victim of those track limits.
So going out relatively early again, everyone. So has Mini had a little bit of a, I think just maybe stalling in the pit lane there, and then jumping back into the working lane and the pit lane so the team can fire him back up again, which is quick thinking from Mini, because if he heads across that pit lane line, the team then can't retrieve the car, although you might be able to bump start it on the downhill through the tunnel.
That's very true, actually. I think he might have impeded someone down the pit lane and used his mirrors very well. Richard, for sure, currently going through a build process. Richard Vashaw, one of Fornaroli's title challengers, and we spoke to him about the 2025 Drivers' Champion.
Well, I think Leo has been doing an amazing job this year, very consistent. We knew already that he could be like that from the likes of F3, and he just delivered all the time again. even if it was just in, I think I had 2 or 3 times where I was P11 in qualifying. He was always just P10, where he scored a lot of points. So I think he just delivered at the moments when he had to, and I'm proud of him. I mean, I know him quite well, and he did a very good job.
It's exactly that. It's qualifying, exactly what we're watching now. The most important part of this season, it seemed to be, just getting in that top 10. And as Richard Verschoor spoke about there, he seemed to just miss out on that top 10 a few times, as did some of the other title challengers. It went down as a very popular win, though, didn't it? Kimi Antonelli was quickly out to congratulate Leo. Gabriel Bortoletto came over to celebrate with him as well. I think there would have been a long queue of people ready to go and shake his hand.
Definitely a popular figure in the paddock. Doesn't mean that they don't all want to still beat him, though.
No.
And
no.
They took it to Qatar. For them, just a little bit too much of a points gap. Still on, though, for second place in the championship. Equal points this weekend between Verschoor and Crawford over second in the championship. They'll be keen to wrap that up if they possibly can. Drivers, a group of drivers with something to prove. Was Arvid Lindblad slightly wide there through turn 1?
Yeah, it looked.
Your mic gesticulation in the commentary box definitely pointed towards the fact that Arvid Lindblad looked just to be a tiny bit wide through the exit.
It looked exactly that to me.
Yeah, Lindblad's really pushing quite quickly now as well. He wants to get more on power, wants to get more on time. His first sector is 20.2. Lindblad, Miata, Van Hopen and Privazak have all had their lap times deleted for track limits abuse. Lindblad did a 1:52, that was his new best. Oh, and the rear stepping out. Soliver Browning noted and will be investigated after the session for impeding at turn 9. Interesting, okay. So there's still some interesting parts that you've got to find about. Here comes Lindblad, half a second up on Solov's time. He's just got up into 13th position. We are riding with Arvid Lindblad right now. That's who we're board, not Solov. The timing tower's got that wrong if you're looking at us. Verschoor is up on Dirtskin. Goethe is up in the middle sector, 41.2. Montoya, first sector, 20.1 with 7 minutes to go. And Arvid Lindblad will come out of the last corner on a brand new set of the Ultras. And it's pole position. 1:37.247. Over the line, Richard Verschoor, second fastest. Ollie Goethe looking even more impressive as he comes over the line, a little bit wide. Pole, 1:37.096. Montoya looking faster. Beganovic now on board with, he's top 10. Over the line, Beganovic. Wow! Wow! He's matched it! He's matched Goethe's time to the nearest thousandth of a second. They've both done a 1:37.096, and they in the final race at the end they've matched each other in qualifying times. Amazing, amazing. Look at Montoya living the ragged edge out of the last corner. Small mistake down to 15 over the line. And it's a 1:37.040. So now, hang on a minute. I think Goethe's time, yes. Goethe's time has been disqualified. He's down to 13th place. Over the line comes Crawford. And he's pole. 1:37.033 by 7 thousandths of a second. It's 007. Goethe did track limits at turn number 1. Here comes Joshua Dirtskin now. 8th fastest, sliding out the rear. 6th fastest he goes to. And Stanek! Stunning time! 1:36.836. He's gone fastest overall. 20.1, 40.9, 35.6. They're the sectors. 1:36.836. That's something else. Emerson Fittipaldi watching on. That's something else from Roman Stanek on the lap time there. What a second run. Stanek, Crawford, Montoya, Beganovic, Martans, Lindblad, Dursgan, Alexander Dunn, Verschoor, Mini in 10th. Solov, Miata, Forlaroli, Bennett, Stenshaw, Goethe, Maney, Van Hopen, Browning, Villagomez, Shields, into Pruvazak. That's the running order as things stand. Well, this is turning up for the books, isn't it? A really feisty, aggressive run. That's what we like to see in Formula 2. Really impressive stuff. Just trying to find out some more information coming through from our... that's not the right one. Just trying to get some data here because I'm trying to find out what the track limits are for when they're not flashing up on my monitor. Just trying to have a look at the new media kit that's come through. Yeah, Taspol interviews that running the 23 in the Trident. Still, interesting one. Still, if we reverse the top 10, that's Gabriel Mini, who has provisional pole position at the moment. Qualifying results to start the starting grid of Sunday's feature race. The starting grid of Saturdays is determined by reversing the top 10 of Friday's classifications. 2 points on the line for pole position here, of course. Doesn't mean much, but yeah. 39 points in total for a driver across the weekend. Leonardo Forlaroli is 41 points clear. Forlaroli's now got into P5 with the fastest third sector time. Ollie Goethe goes up into 5th position. 130.096. Here comes Bogdanovic, second, 137.024. No one getting closer to Stanak's time though at the moment. They've really opened up the books. Montoya looking strong. He's down sectors 1 and 2. So Montoya has not found the holy grail, should you say, to get a good lap time in. Sliding like crazy at the moment. Doesn't go into the barrier, gets very close to it there at the exit. Into 15. Running wide through 16 now, down to 3rd gear, as you say, down 10 meters across the line. And Montoya, 4th, 137. Stanak's at the fastest middle sector time, actually, a 40.9. So Stanak still might find something. Crawford over the line now, 2nd fastest, 136.923. More data. More track position needed. Alexander Dunn goes 11th. 137 point. Maney goes 14th. Stanak faster. 136.889 the last time by. His fastest is 136.836 with 50 seconds to go. I don't think we're going to have much left there. Still, that's the data and that's the running order. I think Stanak might have got that pole position, and it'll be Arvid Lindblad who's on pole for tomorrow's sprint race. There is Colton Herta, who will be racing in Formula 2 next year. He's given up the Formula, he's given up the IndyCar life. He could still enter the Indy 500 though, but he's given up IndyCar to race in Formula 2 and go after Formula 1. Forlaroli starts a lap time. Ollie Goethe's come into the pit lane, and Forlaroli's going to try and go for pole position here. Make or break in his last ever Formula 2 race. The checkered flag is out. The session is over. Who have you got on the board? Who have you got into turn 5? Just to the exit. We are stepping out. First sector, 20.1. Browning. His time in the first sector, 20.1. They've matched each other. Bogdanovic is down, 20.1, actually 21.1. So yeah, they're still the same. And a bit of a slide for Forlaroli coming out of turn 6 and 7. Through the kink at 8 with the DRS open into the long sweeping left-hander of turn 9. Down a couple of gears. Still trying to find the correct momentum. bringing back up the pace, bringing back up the speed. Browning again, stronger and stronger and stronger. Still nothing on the datas. I think we've seen the end of this one. Solov 9th, Lindblad 10th, Bashor 12th. Bennett in 15th, Villa Gomez 16th, Van Hopen 19th. Mayata in 14th, Montoya 4th. Over the line, there's a gaggle of cars. Forlaroli improves up into 3rd position. Invicta take 1 and 3 for the feature race come Sunday. That's an impressive last lap from Leonardo Forlaroli, our Formula 2 champion of 2025. That's more like it. Yellow flag now, out on the circuit for practice starts. But that is a lot better, a lot better. It's Roman Stanek who takes overall pole position. A 1:36.836. Crawford is 2nd. Forlaroli 3rd. Beganovic 4th. Montoya 5th. And with reverse grid pole for the sprint race tomorrow, it is Arvid Lindblad. What a day he's having. What a weekend. Here's Stanek.
I will done with P1, mate. Mate, incredible, eh? You built a rocket ship for me today. Not a car, a rocket ship.
Rocket Man is Roman Stanek. Rocket Roman. Forget Rocket Robin, it's Rocket Roman. What a brilliant run. Jack Crawford in 2nd position, 87 thousandths off. That's not at all anything negative. He's got a lot of bright things in the future trying to come back into. Stunning lap time from him out there. Yeah, it's a 36.93. Here's Forlaroli in 3rd.
Not bad, Roman P1, so that's good for the team. Good job, mate. Sorry that last sector. Good job. Nice way to finish the end. Quali. Yeah, the rear was moving all over the place.
Of course, what's different about the support paddock in Abu Dhabi compared to Bahrain is that in Bahrain, the 2 paddocks are connected either side to each other. So the F2 and the F1 paddocks are the same side. But in Abu Dhabi, the support paddock is completely separate building to what we have in Formula 1. Different start line, different pit lane, everything. And that start line does get used. They do use this national circuit. The flyover begins here at lunchtime in Abu Dhabi. Look at that, beautiful performance here from the United Arab Emirates. And what a fantastic session that has been for qualifying. Look over at the Yaz Hotel. A lot better, a lot smoother, a lot nicer. What a fantastic qualifying to end the year on. It's Roman Stanek on pole position for the feature race Cup Sunday. Jack Crawford is alongside him from Leonardo Forlaroli, Dino Beganovic, Sebastian Montoya, Ollie Goethe, Victor Martans, Joshua Durskin, Nicholas Olive and Arvid Lindblad will start on pole for the sprint race tomorrow on reverse grid. Alexander Dunn is in 11th, Richard Verschoor 12th, Gabriel Mini is 13th, Rito Miata 14th, John Bennett 15th, Rafael Villa Gomez in 16th, Luke Browning is 17th, Martin Estenshaw is in 18th, Lawrence Van Hopen 19th, Kushmaini is 20th, and Clan Shields is 21st, with Tanasapol into Pruvazak in 22nd position. Well, that's it from F2 action for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Wes and Omi through a sprint race. I'll be back for the feature come Sunday. Next up, it's one more action today for Formula 1 with the 2nd practice session from Abu Dhabi in about an hour and a half's time. Join us for that. But in the meantime, have a very happy Friday. Bye-bye. From us all here, it is Roman Stanek on pole. Bye-bye.